My name is Sophia, and I live in a small coastal town in Portugal. She avoided mirrors for years until one tiny choice changed everything. That she is me. And if you're watching this right now, maybe you understand what it feels like to look at your reflection and feel disappointment, or anger, or shame, or nothing at all. Let me take you back. I was 13 the first time I truly noticed my reflection. Not in the innocent, curious way children do, but in the sharp, surgical way teenagers do. I remember standing in the bathroom of our apartment in Porto. The tiles were cold. The light above the mirror flickered slightly. I leaned closer. My nose looked too big. My skin wasn't clear enough. My smile felt awkward. I tilted my head left, then right. I sucked in my cheeks. I tried different angles. I didn't like any of them. I remember pressing my fingers against the glass, as if I could smooth out what I didn't like, as if the mirror had made a mistake. That was the day something shifted. I didn't know it then, but I had just declared war on my own reflection. And wars like that don't end quickly. Avoidance doesn't happen all at once. It starts small. I stopped turning on the bright bathroom light. I brushed my teeth without really looking. I passed mirrors quickly in hallways. I volunteered to take the photo instead of being in it. If a shop window caught my reflection unexpectedly, my stomach would tighten. It became a reflex: look down, look away, look anywhere else. You know what's wild? The mirror never insulted me. It never spoke. It simply reflected. But my mind did the damage. It whispered, "You're not enough. You don't look like them. You should be better by now." And slowly I believed it. If you've ever felt that quiet criticism in your head, pause this video for a second and breathe. Because you're not alone. And before I continue, subscribe to this channel if you believe stories like this matter. We're building a space where vulnerability is strength. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I want to know how far this story travels. Now let me show you how deep it went. University made it worse. New city. New faces. New standards. Social media didn't help. Filters. Perfect lighting. Perfect angles. Perfect lives. I started measuring myself against women who didn't even look like their own photos. I'd scroll at night in bed, the blue light glowing against my face, feeling smaller and smaller. One evening, I took 47 selfies. 47. Different angles. Different expressions. Different lighting. I deleted every single one. Then I lay back and stared at the ceiling, feeling exhausted, not from work, not from study, but from fighting my own face. Have you ever felt tired of being you? That's a heavy thing to admit. But it's the truth. Avoiding mirrors doesn't sound dramatic. But the cost is real. I stopped going to the beach with friends. I avoided bright daytime events. I wore oversized clothes not because I liked the style, but because they hid me. I smiled less in photos. I hesitated before speaking in group settings. Because when you dislike what you see, it leaks into how you show up. Confidence isn't just about looks. It's about presence. And I was shrinking. One night, I caught a glimpse of myself in a dark window. And for a split second, I didn't recognize the girl staring back. She looked tired, guarded, smaller than she used to be. That scared me. Not because I hated how she looked, but because I realized I had abandoned her. The breaking point wasn't dramatic. There was no big argument. No public humiliation. No viral moment. It was quiet. I was getting ready for a friend's birthday dinner. I had bought a dress weeks before. The next morning, I did something that terrified me. I removed the small mirror from my bedroom wall. Not to avoid it, but to replace it. I went to a store and bought the largest mirror I could afford. Full length. Bright. Unforgiving. I carried it home myself. My arms hurt. My heart pounded. It felt symbolic. Like I was choosing confrontation over escape. When I installed it against the wall, I stood back. There I was. No filters. No inglés. Just me. And here was the bold move. I decided I would look at myself every day. Not to judge, but to learn. It sounds simple. But for someone who avoided mirrors for years, it was revolutionary. The first day, I lasted 30 seconds. 30. I stood there and forced myself not to look away. I felt exposed, vulnerable. My mind tried to criticize, but I interrupted it. Instead of, I hate this, I said, this is my body. Instead of, why do you look like that? I said, you are human. It felt awkward, fake, but I kept going. Day 2, 45 seconds. Day 3, 1 minute. I wasn't trying to fall in love with myself. I was just trying to stop the hate. And if this resonates with you, pause for a moment and subscribe. Stories like this are not just stories, they're mirrors for someone else. And tell me where you're watching from. Europe? Africa? America? I'm reading every comment. Because healing feels less lonely when we do it together. After a week, I added something new. A notebook. Every time I stood in front of the mirror, I wrote one neutral statement. Not positive. Neutral. My shoulders are strong. My eyes look tired today. My posture is improving. I am standing. That last one became my favorite. I am standing. Because for years, I emotionally knelt in front of my insecurities. Now I was standing. And something subtle began to shift. The reflection didn't change. But my relationship with it did. 2 months later, summer arrived. My friends planned a beach day. Normally, I would invent an excuse. But this time, I said yes before I could overthink it. I stood in front of the big mirror in my room wearing a swimsuit. Old panic tried to rise. But I breathed through it. This is my body, I said softly. It carries me. It deserves sunlight. At the beach, I felt exposed at first. But something magical happened. Nobody cared. Nobody stared. Nobody whispered. The only person who had ever policed my body was me. That realization hit like a wave. Strong. Cold. Awakening. That evening, a stranger complimented my laugh. Not my body. Not my outfit. My laugh. And I realized something powerful. People experience your energy before they evaluate your appearance. And my energy had changed. Because I wasn't hiding anymore. If you've made it this far, comment the word standing. Let's see how many of us are choosing to stand today. Here's the twist. I didn't lose weight. I didn't get surgery. I didn't change my face. The bold move wasn't cosmetic. It was confrontational. I stopped running. And that changed everything. Confidence isn't built in comfort. It's built in exposure. In choosing to look at what scares you and staying there long enough to realize it's not your enemy. Today, when I stand in front of the mirror, I say one sentence. I am allowed to take up space. Sometimes I believe it fully. Sometimes I'm still learning. But I never look away anymore. The girl who once flinched at her reflection now meets it. Eye to eye. And if you're struggling with your own mirror, here's your tiny choice. Stand in front of it tonight. 30 seconds. No judgment. Just observation. That's how it begins. She avoided mirrors for years. Until one tiny choice changed everything. The choice to face herself. The choice to interrupt the voice. The choice to stand. If this story touched you, subscribe and join this community of quiet strength. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And before you go, drop your mirror mantra in the comments, and let's build a confidence wall together. Because someone out there needs to read your words. And maybe that someone is you.